Hey everyone, and welcome to Isms by Josie. Today we're going to be continuing our HEJIN Christmas characters crochet pattern, doing the snowman. For our returning subscribers, thank you so much for tuning in. And for our new viewers, please consider subscribing, share, hit that like button, leave a comment below, and click on that notification bell for future videos. So you guys, this is part 2 of our video series, making the snowman. I had purchased this crochet kit, holiday kit from Amazon. I will leave a link in the description box below if you'd like to go ahead, check it out, maybe get it yourself. If not, you can just try to follow me in this video. Again, it's by HEJIN, and it's a holiday crochet kit that includes everything that you can possibly need. I showed you everything that they have in the part 1 video. And then you can end up making these 5 different characters. And we started with the snowman. So let's go ahead and bounce to the section where we can continue making our little snowman. So I have completed the head part of this snowman. And now the next steps are to go to the collar. And for the color, we have to use only one color, which is the pale aqua. And this next page here, they're showing, it looks like the Santa, but we just got to pretend that it's the snowman. So, let's see what we can do here. Let's read this a little bit. Then work with front loops of round 10 of the head. Start crocheting with the main color yarn. So, round 10. So we're going to have to do some counting here. Alright, so this is a bit difficult. I'm guessing we have to work with the front loops of round 10. So you take your little snowman head here and you count 10 rings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's that row that we did the back loops with. So we're just going to be using these. You can visibly see them. So that's good. And I have my hook here, and I have the pale aqua color. It looks like there's no way to get the yarn out of the middle, so I'm going to have to remove this, which is not what I like to do because the yarn just rolls around. So we're going to see how that does because my working space isn't that large. Okay, so we have our yarn here. Let's try to find, okay, so here we have our, I wonder if there's a way, okay. You see this that fell out? It's actually coming from the inside. I'm going to try using this end instead, because if I use this one, it's going to keep rolling around trying to unravel from the outside as opposed to just pulling from the inside. So what we're going to do is I'm going to create the first stitch that we need. So what you're going to need to do is to pinch this end with your thumb and ring and pinky fingers, and then with your index and middle, you want to kind of straighten this yarn out about it, I guess about 2.5 inches, just enough so that you can kind of have this area to play with. And then I'm going to take my hook and I'm going to lay it down perpendicular to the yarn. And then I'm going to start dipping my hook down and around like this. And I'm doing this really super slow so that you can see it here. And so that you make your loop. And again, I'm going to do that again, perpendicular to the yarn, dip down, move it up and around, and you have your little loop. So now I'm going to kind of hold this in place. I'm going to grab myself some of this yarn, and then I'm going to slide the loop here close to this end piece. So pinch the end piece as low as you possibly can get on it, and then I want you to start sliding up that loop so you're closing in on that pinched area. Then I want you to do a yarn over like that. Now I want you to pinch this intersection so you can hold both the front and the back piece of yarn, and then we're going to pull this through the loop like that. And then what you're going to want to do is pinch the end of the yarn again, and with your other hand push that knot down towards that pinch. It's going to tighten as you go, which is exactly what we need. And this is pretty close enough. I'm just going to pull this little piece here to kind of make sure it's snug. And then I'm going to grip that knot and slide it close to the hook. And we created our little starter here. Okay. So we have to attach this to this. So what I'm going to do is give yourself some slack here. Like that. So you can safely remove this. Pick a spot on your snowman, and using these front loops, they'll be visible to see if you did this right. If not, go back to part 1 and try to remake the head. But I'm just going to put the hook into a spot in the head. And they have the head upside down, I think. Yeah. So what you're going to want to do now is they want you to round 1, make 2 chains. So this is going to kind of count as 1. Slip that back on there, tighten it up a little bit. Okay. So we have 1, our technical 1, and 2. Then it says 2 DC in the same loop. DC means double crochet. We have our single crochet that we did in part 1. Part 2 is asking us for double crochet, and I'll show you how to do it. And we have to put it in the same loop. So this same loop that we have, this attachment here, stick your needle back in the same loop. Oh, sorry, take it back out. With double crochet, you have to yarn over once before you stick your hook into the stitch. So again, we have 2 chains. We're going to yarn over, and then we're going to stick our hook into that same stitch. Then we have to yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, and pull through 2 loops again, and you had just completed a double crochet. So we have to do 2 of these because it's 2 double crochet. So I'll show this to you again one more time. yarn over. We're gonna, in the same stitch, put your hook in there, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops again. So now we have the 2 double crochets on here. Then it's saying, then make 2 DC in each loop until the end of the round. Join to the chain with the slip stitch. Okay, so easy enough. We're going to yarn over into the next loop, put in the hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, and pull through 2 loops again. Again, yarn over into the same hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Again, yarn over into the next loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Okay, again, yarn over, put into the same loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over into the next loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Again, into the same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. It's starting to come out real pretty. So we're going to yarn over into the next loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over into the same loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. I'm going to start grabbing more yarn here so that I don't have to keep grabbing so often. And if you don't like doing that, you guys, you can continue doing as you're doing. If you want to try this out, go ahead and try it out, but this is like just wrapping it around your finger a million times. Okay, so we have that yarn over into the next loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over into the same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over into the same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over into the same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over into the same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over into the same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. You're going to be a super pro at double crocheting after this, you guys. I'm going to yarn over into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. You can kind of tell if you did 2 because there's going to be these like budding double crochets coming out and almost like wanting to look like a U or a V. And then if you had one by yourself like I have here, it's just going to be a stick pointing straight up. So if you ever lose count or lose your place, just take a look at it and you'll be able to tell where you're at. Yarn over into the same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over into the same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over into the same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over into the same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up through 2 loops, yarn over, pull up through 2 loops, yarn over into the same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, yarn over, put into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over into the same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, put in the next loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over into the same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over into the same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over into the next same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So now we have to do a slip stitch. That first 2 chain that we did in the very beginning counts as one. Oh no. Counts. Oh, I think that was just a spacer, sorry. Because we have our one here and then we have our one here, and I guess this was just to get up there like we've done in the previous rows. So what I'm going to do is stick the needle on the top of this first double crochet here like that. We're going to yarn over, pull through those loops, and then pull through the loop on the hook, and we have done our slip stitch. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas or a snowman. So now for round 2 we have to make 2 chains. So let's do this. Let me grab some yarn. I'm just not really liking this whole grabbing. Again, I'm just gonna load up my finger here with yarn. It's just how I like to do it. I hate having to keep grabbing yarn. I just feel like it takes so much time. Okay, so let's chain 2 first. We're gonna chain 1 and then we're gonna chain 2. Okay, then we make 1 half double crochet in each stitch to the end of the round. So HDC stands for half double crochet, and I'm going to show you how to do that. I like doing these ones actually. So what you're going to do is yarn over. You're going to stick your hook into the next stitch. As I stated in the previous video, part 1, you're going to see a little stitch here that's kind of trying to get into this big one. That doesn't count as one. That's the one we fused together. Doing the slip stitch, it's this full stitch next to it. So put your hook into the front and back loops. You're going to yarn over and pull up a loop. So now I have 3 loops here, and a half double crochet is just yarning over and drawing through all 3 loops. And I like it because it's going to create this back loop, front loop, and then it has this loop here from the half double crochet stitch, and it ends up looking really pretty, I think. So we have to do 1 half double crochet in each stitch to the end of the round. So let's do that. We're going to yarn over, put your hook in the next stitch, front and back loops, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, draw through all 3 loops. Okay, I'm going to do this one more. Let's just do this till we make 5. So we have 2 right now. We're going to do 3 more, and then I'm going to let you guys go do your thing. You can hit that gear on the right corner of your screen, and there's a section that says like playback speed or something, and you can always make the video go faster or slower depending on your need. If I'm going too fast, if I'm going too slow, and obviously you can always pause it whenever. So next half double crochet stitch, yarn over, put it in the front and back loops of the next stitch. We're going to yarn over again, drop a loop, yarn over, and draw through all 3 loops. Okay, let's do 2 more. Yarn over into the next stitch, front and back loops, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops, yarn over into the next stitch, front and back loops, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops. So you see how pretty this is coming, you guys? It's got this, like, I don't know. And on the back here too, you can end up seeing the same braiding, so that's what I like about it. Okay, so let's continue doing the 1/2 double crochet all around, and then we'll go into round 3. Okay. And then apologies if the sound is kind of low. It's pretty late here, and I don't want to make too much noise, so I'm talking kind of low, so hopefully it's loud enough for you guys to hear clearly, and at least loud enough for YouTube to be able to decipher with captions, because sometimes if it doesn't understand what you're saying, it'll pick a word that sounds similar, or it won't display anything at all. So comment below, you guys, if you do find this relaxing. I find it very relaxing, to where that being, you know, late, and it's not dark in here. My workstation has a lamp, so I'm working under the lamp, but all the rest of the lights are off. So when you're in that kind of setting, it automatically makes you feel a little sleepy or at least sleepier than you are. But I'm going to try to pull this through. Right now this video is nearing 30 minutes. So what I want to hopefully do is be able to finish the entire snowman in, you know, I mean, in a perfect world, maybe another half an hour, but at least an hour, so that the video doesn't run long. And I would hate to do a part 3, so we'll see, because these are very tiny. I mean, it took us a little bit to do this snowman, but I gather that once we do the other characters, the process will get at least a little faster, since we know how the process is. And again, you guys, for people that just came in at this point, or, you know, just saying, I got this kit on Amazon, and I'm going to leave a link in the description box below. Again, it's 5 cute characters, and the price point was about like $21. So when they say they include all materials included, it has the yarn, the different color yarns, the stuffing, it has the beady eyes, it has safety pins, it has the hook, it has a needle, it has scissors, like legit scissors that are sharp, so be careful. Obviously this booklet, and I don't think I'm leaving anything out, but go ahead and check the description box. I have the link to Amazon. You can go on there and pick out the this Christmas holiday crochet kit. They do sell other different kinds of kits, so I would just go on there and see what else they have. I honestly didn't see what else that they have. But once I complete the holiday set, I am gonna get like more kits that hopefully you can find at a store, or if you do Amazon, because I know a lot of times it's hard to understand the instructions and you wish you had a video for help. So here I am. Okay, so I'm going to join this round now, and I'm going to use the 2 chains, because nope, maybe not. All right, well, just keeping with this last row, we didn't count the 2 chains. We're going to use the first HDC, aka half double crochet, the front and back loops. For that, I'm just going to stick the hook into that, and then I'm going to yarn over, pull through that set of loops, and then pull through the final loop, and now I've finished round 2. So now for round 3, we have to change to a secondary color yarn, but in this case Snowman only has the color pale aqua, so I'm going to stick with it, and 1 slip stitch in each stitch to the end of the round. Interesting. Okay, so we already did that with this stitch and that stitch. So now for every stitch, front and back loops, you want to go in and yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, and pull that also through this last loop here. Again, because I totally confused you guys on that. On the next stitch, front and back loops, put your hook in there, yarn over, pull through those stitches, and then pull through the last loop on your hook. And then let's do this one more time, and then I'll let you guys go. Put your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through those stitches, and then pull through that last loop. And we're going to continue this to the end of the round. Okay. So now you're definitely getting your practice of slip stitches, and I like that, especially if you're beginning. You would like to have a round or a row filled with the same type of stitch, so that you have that time to really sink in those motor skills, because with the slip stitch, it's just pulling up a chain through a bunch of loops, and so when you do that over and over again, it's just going to become automatic. It's going to feel more comfortable. So we're just going to continue doing this all the way around. that seems to be the end of the instructions for this collar. I reached the other side. The good thing about this is that with the half double crochet, it leaves that extra braid in the back. So you kind of can see where you left off. This is the last stitch that doesn't have that. So what I'm going to do is slip stitch this one more time. And then of course I'm going to cut this off. And then I'm going to tighten this up a little bit. And we finished this. I'm going to show you guys how to hide these. But I'm going to do that after. Because right now I'm going to want to move on to the next part, which is the hat. So we have to use the black yarn now. Let me just put this one away. So I have my black yarn here. Again, it's rolled this way, so we're just going to cut this off. Then I'm going to hope if I can find that inside piece. Okay, and I did, which is wonderful. So again, you guys, we have to do the magic loop. And if you don't remember the magic loop, it's in part 1 of this series, but I'm going to do it again for you guys in this video. Okay, so what you have to do is I'm going to lay my index finger out like this. And what you're going to want to do is yarn over twice this way from back to front. And you want it to where you have a little excess right on top of the index finger. So you can grab your middle finger, pinch that down. So now as you see here, I have 3 loops to work with. You're going to take your needle. I'm going to slide this under those pieces of yarn. Then I'm going to take the hook and grab it. I'm going to want to fish it through the 2 loops like that. And then I'm going to want to yarn over like this and pull that through that loop. And so now we have a seal for our magic loop. You can take it off your finger, and there we have it. So here we have to do 6 single crochet stitches. So I'm going to pull some yarn here. And like we did in part 1, I'm going to, before we start making our single crochet stitches, you have to get up to the height of that round. So what we're going to do is yarn over and pull through that loop, and we went up 1. Now we can do our 6 single crochet stitches. So stick your hook into the magic loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So we have 1 down, 5 to go. Into the magic loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So 2, let's do 4 more. into the magic loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Okay, so we have 3. Let's do 3 more. Into the magic loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. 4, 2 more. Into the magic loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Okay, so we have 5, 1 more. Into the magic loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So now we should have 6 stitches on here. What we're going to do is, and just to reiterate, we have our 6 stitches and then that 1 chain that we went up to, so don't confuse that with a stitch. That's just a space, a spacer, I guess I'm going to call it. So the thing about the magic ring is that you can now pull the end and it's going to tighten this up. So it's easier to form your 6 stitches on such a tiny opening, if that makes any sense. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start pulling this, and I want to see if this first one or second one starts pulling, because that's going to tell me which one I need to focus on first. So let's pull this. Okay, and as you saw, the back loop pulled in. This is the loop that we're going to have to pull out first, because this one, you know, it's just double wrapped, so it's going to have a hard time. And if you don't do this, you're going to have a loop like this once it's closed, and that's not attractive. Plus it might confuse you when you're counting your stitches. So we're going to take that back loop, this side, not the hook side, the outermost side, and I'm going to pull out that end, and then I'm going to watch this tighten up. So just keep doing that. Keep pulling. And you know what? Get some slack on this. Pull this loop out a little bit. I want to remove the hook because it's getting in my way. So this one is the one we've been pulling. Let's keep pulling until you see that front ring is finally moving. And you want to pull it until it forms a very tight circle where it's like no opening at all, or at least close to close. Now that we pulled that out, you can take the end piece and pull that back loop in as well, and pull it tight but not too tight. So now, like I said, we have this hole, this round, and the hole is gone. I'm going to stick the hook back in here, tighten it up a little bit, and then I'm going to go grab my yarn because I hate having to keep grabbing it. Okay. And we're at 45 minutes of this video, guys. So I don't know. Hopefully we'll be able to finish this. We still have the carrot nose and then the assembly. So let's do the slip stitch. So we count back 6 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like we did in the first video. It's 6 stitches from the hook. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So regardless of what this one next to it looks like, we're going to put it into the 6th one, because remember, that's the spacer. That doesn't count as a stitch. So front and back loops, put your hook in there, and then we're going to yarn over and pull through those set of loops, and then pull through the last loop. So we've created our first round. Now for round 2, it says to increase times 6. So we're going to end up with 12 stitches. So what we're going to do, again, we have to make that height. So yarn over and pull through the loop. That doesn't count as a stitch, it counts as the height of the row. Now into the next stitch, it's not going to be this little one here because this one is kind of fused with the last stitch we made from doing that slip stitch. So you want to stick your needle into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. To increase, we do it again, same stitch. So put your hook into the same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So now you have 2. We're going to continue doing this all the way around. Oh, you guys, I am so entirely sorry. Let me undo these 2 stitches and I'll tell you why. We're going to undo the 1. We're going to undo the 2. And I tend to forget this, and I didn't do it. I didn't forget as much in my last video, which is why I'm kind of kicking myself for doing in this one. We have to put in a marker. At the end of row 1, it says to keep track of where we are and put a stitch marker. So what that is if you saw the first video, we were given little safety pins like this. So all you have to do is slip this into that last stitch we slip stitched like this, and this is gonna let us know where we started and began in the last row. That's very important. So I can't believe I forgot it. But now we're back to square 1. I did the chain to get the height. You want to stick your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and then we're going to do it again because we're doing the increasing stitch. So into that same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Okay. So again, you guys, we're going to be continuing the increasing stitch 5 more times so that we get a total of 12 stitches. I'll do one more with you and then I'll let you guys go and do your thing. Into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, into that same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Okay, so let's keep doing this all the way around. And you guys, it's quite difficult this time around because we are working with a darker color yarn, so the stitches aren't visible as easily on camera. So bear with me. Okay, and then on our last one, we can remove the marker. And then we're going to finish the last increasing stitch. Okay, so now we're going to do a slip stitch. We're going to count back 12 and do a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So again, it's not going to be this tiny one here. That's the spacer. We're going to put it in the next one here, which is the 12th stitch. We're going to yarn over, pull through that, and pull through the last loop on the hook, and we've completed round 2. For round 3, we're going to do a single crochet and an increasing stitch 6 times to get 18. So again, let's yarn over and pull through that loop, and now we're going to go into the next stitch and we're going to do a single crochet stitch, and then we're going to do an increased stitch in the next stitch over. So 1, 2. Oh, I forgot to mark my round again, you guys. Unravel it. I unravel it because I can see this is such a darker yarn that it's hard to see where I started and left off. So please don't forget to put your marker in. It's the second time. Third time, I'm out. It is getting late. Okay. Again, let's start this all over. Into the next stitch, single crochet, into the next stitch, increasing crochet, so 1, 2, into the next stitch, single crochet, into the next stitch, increasing, increasing crochet. I almost lost my place there. Into the next stitch, single crochet, into the next stitch, increasing crochet, into the next stitch, single crochet, into the next stitch, increasing crochet, into the next stitch, single crochet. I don't know if I missed one. Let's see. Into the next stitch, increasing crochet, into the next stitch, single crochet, into the next stitch, increasing crochet. Let's remove this marker. You can try keeping it on there. You don't really need it on there, but it's difficult. It gets in the way. Okay, increasing crochet, so one more. Okay. Now we should have 18, and we're going to do a slip stitch, you guys. Like I mentioned in my part 1 video, the pretty side is going to want to cave in on you. You can tell because you have the access here. This is the wrong side, but you just want to flip that out, and then we're going to count back 18 stitches and then do a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, I didn't miss any. Stick your hook in the front and back loops, yarn over, pull through those loops and the last loop, and before I forget, mark it off. Okay, so let's grab some more yarn. We have row 4, and it says that we have to do back of loops only, and we're going to do 18 crochet stitches, single crochet stitches, so this is going to be pretty straightforward. So I'm going to show you how to start it off, and then I'll let you guys go. So yarn over and pull up a loop. That's chain 1 to get the height. Then into the next stitch, we're going to use the back loops only. So this is the front loop. Hope you guys can see that. Front loop, back loop. You want to put the hook into the back loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. And we're going to do 18 of these, you guys. So let's go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Let's remove this marker. And then 18. Okay, then I'm going to count 18 stitches into a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So front and back loops, put your hook in, yarn over, pull up a loop, and pull through all loops. And then we're going to mark it off. Almost forgot. Okay. Alright, so now we have to do round 5 and 18 single crochet. Because it doesn't say BLO, I'm just going to go back to putting it in front and back loops. So let's yarn over, pull a chain to get that height, and then we're going to do 18 single crochet stitches front and back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, remove the marker. 18. Okay, I'm gonna count. I actually have to switch to red, and I'm gonna show you how to do that and try to like not make it super obvious. So let's pull some slack here. I'm gonna go grab the red. They gave us a lot of red, you guys. I'm gonna try to find, this is the outside yard. I have to try finding the inside yard. And sometimes you have to just dig deep in here. I'm hoping that I can find this end piece. Oh my gosh, I just pulled it out. How crazy is that? On one go. Normally it's a mess, but at least I get the inside out. And this time it came out really nice. Okay, so we can just pull this. See how easy that is? And it doesn't roll around and it keeps just coming out. Love it. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna create that chain 1. So again, take your ring finger and your pinky and your thumb, pinch the end down there, take your middle and index and pinch it up here. Then we're going to take the hook, lie it perpendicular to the yarn. We're going to go down, up and around to where we have this loop. I'm going to hold this here to pinch it so you can let go. I'm going to gather up some yarn here. Okay, now that we're back, grab the end of this excess piece, and then I want you to slide the loop closer to that pinched area, and then you're going to want to pinch both the front and the back pieces. We're going to yarn over and you're going to pull through the loop like that. Then you're going to grab the end again and we're going to push this knot towards the end. So just keep pushing it down until it's going to tighten up. If you want, you can pull this out so you don't have that much slack, and you just keep doing it again until you can't do it anymore, or until you get too close. So now that we're as close as we can get, grab this end and pull it this way, just so you can tighten that knot a little bit. And then I'm going to let go of this yarn here. We're going to take this off. This is going to be your first chain thing, because it says change to red for the 16th round. So we're going to do that. I want you to stick your hook back into this loop. Okay, so we're going to count back 18 and stick the hook into those loops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So stick your hook into the 2 loops. Do not use this one. This one is now done. Put this aside. We're going to take this loop here. I'm going to kind of secure it on this hook, not too tight. Okay, just enough so it's snug. Alright, I want you to grab some of this yarn, and we're going to pull this red through these loops. So 1, 2. Now we're going to eventually switch back to black. As you see on the hat, it's going to go back to black. So rather than cut this, I'm going to leave it. And that way we can just quickly change the color without having to do that whole creating that first chain. So now we have to do round 6, 18 crochet stitches. What we need to do is do that chain 1. So yarn over, chain 1. Okay. Then we're going to do 18 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's get some more yarn here. This is a lot of red and it's packed, so it's a little tight in there. And look, they fuse their yarn together like this. You'll see that in a bunch of spools. Don't be concerned. It's unfortunate because it will show up in your project. There are ways to hide it, but you can tell when a company ran out of a spool and started a new one. Okay. So I lost count. I'm just going to keep going around, and then we'll count the stitches later. And because we changed colors, I did forget to put the marker, but at least I'll know where the last stitch was because it's clearly a different color. Okay, so this is my, I think this is my last stitch. Let me double check by counting 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Yep. So into the last stitch. And we already counted. It's not this tiny one because that's the spacer. It's this next one. I'm going to stick the hook into, yarn over, and pull through every loop. And then I'm going to grab my marker and we're marking it. Okay. So this is where we're going to be doing a decreasing now. For row 7, it says to do 4 single crochet stitches and a decreasing stitch 3 times, so you end up getting 15. Okay, so we're gonna build that spacer, chain 1, then we're gonna do 4 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we have to do a decreasing stitch, and I'll show you what that's like. I did it in part 1. I'll do it here in part 2. So you want to stick your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, but then we're going to stick our hook into the next stitch, yarn over, and pull up a loop. And then we're going to yarn over and draw through all 3 loops, and we just decreased a stitch by 1. So now we got to go and do 4 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to do the decreasing stitch into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops, and one more time, 4 single crochet stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to move this marker because we're going to do the decreasing stitch. Into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. So we're going to count 15 stitches, and then we're going to do a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, let's stick this in here. Before I mention the next step, I want to show you guys how I hid. Oh, I hid it so well I didn't find it right. That manufacturer tied 2 reds together. You just try to tuck it in the back. You see how this stitch is tinier than the rest? It's not ideal, but it's the only way to keep it from popping out into your project, so you keep it behind like that. Okay, so we have our hook in here. We're not going to use the red. We're going to use the black that we saved. See, aren't we glad we saved that now, so we don't have to go through the whole chain thing? But because for round 7, at the end of it says change to black yarn. So let's do that. Grab the black. We're going to yarn over with the black. And yes, it's still attached to the hat down there. Yes, yarn over, pull through all loops, and we're done with the red. So what I would do here, we're going to cut off the excess piece. And if you're worried that it's going to unravel, what you could do is tie this around the black yarn here. So let's do that. You don't have to go super tight with it. Just double knot it. Leave it kind of loose. This is going to be another yarn. And you guys, I normally tuck these into my work. That's going to be a little extra for to do, so let's just keep it simple for now. And it's going to be inside anyway, so it's going to be hidden. But now for round 8, we have to do front loop only, and we have to do 15 crochet stitches. So last time we did the back loops, this time we're going to do the front ones. And what we have to do is chain 1. Okay, now starting in the front loop, let's do 15 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 11. Okay, so this one's going to be hard because it's tighter because we hid that knot, or at least I did. Hopefully you don't have this problem. Yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Lost count, so I'm just going to continue. And because this is 2 different colors, you can tell where your last stitch is because it's a different color. Okay. So now I'm going to count back 15 and do a slip stitch and then mark it off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Do a slip stitch, and we're going to mark it off. Okay. So now for row 9, it's asking you to do 2 double crochet stitches in the same stitch, and we're going to do this 15 times, so we're going to end up with 30 stitches. So we're making the brim of the hat. Then we're going to slip stitch to the end, fasten off with a long tail. So let me just grab a bunch of yarn here. We're gonna yarn over and pull up a chain. Then we're gonna actually 2, because we have 2 for double crochet stitches, and that's just to get the height. It doesn't count as 1. So now we have to do a 2 double crochet stitch in the same stitch. So yarn over into the next stitch. We're gonna pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Again, yarn over in the same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So we have 2 stitches in 1 stitch. Now you guys, let's complete this 14 more times. Oops, I forgot to yarn over. Okay, sorry. So we are now at 1 hour and 20 minutes for this video. And I'm thinking we're gonna have time. To do the carrot nose and the assembly. Almost there, you guys. I think we're like more than halfway. Remove the marker. Those spacers you can totally see better here than you can on a single crochet stitch, because it's taller. So if we didn't have that, this whole thing would be scrunched into a spiral, and that's why we put these spacers. But I don't even need to count because it's done. We're just gonna assume 30 stitches are on there. But we're gonna put our hook into the first double crochet stitch back, front and back loops, yarn over and pull through both loops, and then we have to fasten off with a long tail. So that basically is a long tail. I mean, that might be too long, but you never know. So yarn over, pull through the whole thing and tighten it. That's how we fasten off with a long tail. So we got our hat here. So now we have to do the carrot nose. Let's put this away. You always want to keep your yarns, especially from a kit, because if you lose anything, you won't be able to finish a project or make another one or continue with one. Yeah. So let's cut this up. Let's find that center. So it usually takes a bit. I was lucky the last few times. Okay, so we have to start with our orange yarn, and we have to do the magic loop. So again, let's do this thing. Yarn over twice, have that little bit of extra over the index finger. We're going to pinch it down there like that. Then we're going to grab our hook and slip it underneath these three. Come back and grab that one there and slide it under the two. Then we're going to yarn over. You're going to pull that through the loop. So we've secured our magic ring. We can remove it off the finger. Okay. So we have to do 3 single crochet stitches. 3 single crochet stitches in this magic loop, and we have to keep track of where we are using the stitch marker. Okay. So we're going to make a chain to get the height. Then we're going to stick the hook into the magic loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Then we're going to stick the hook into the magic loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. One more time, stick the hook into the magic ring, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Then we're going to tighten this up, and we're going to do the same thing that we did with a hat. Pull some excess out here, and it's lighter yarn now so you can see it better, but I'm going to pull this, see which one pulls first. It's this one here, so I'm going to want to grab this end piece on this side and start pulling so that front loop can get threaded through there. And once you hit a point where you can't pull it anymore, then you can grab this end piece and pull that through, and then you'll have your ring. And this is 3 single crochet stitches, so it's not gonna look like a complete ring, I feel. Okay, but that's what we have to do. Somehow I have to slip stitch. This is a tiny thing. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, stick your hook into that 3rd single crochet, front and back loops. Sorry about that. Then we're going to yarn over, pull through all loops. Okay, so we have our microscopic ring. You want to push the good side out. So get this little nub right now. And they want you to freaking, pardon the language, put a marker on the last stitch maybe. I mean, this is real tight here. Now, I'm not too happy with that, because it opens the room up for mistakes. Okay, so now for round 2, we have to do 2 single crochet stitches and an increased stitch. So let's do that. Let's get up in height here, yarn over, pull through that. Then we're going to, into the next stitch, stick your hook in front to back loops. I'm going to yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and then into the next stitch, put in your hook, front to back. We're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and then this is the last stitch we have here. We're going to remove the marker, stick the hook in, front and back loops, and we have to do our increasing stitch. So it's basically 2 single crochet stitches in the same stitch, again in the same stitch, and do 1 more. Okay, so now we have 4 stitches. I'm just going to try counting back and finding the stitches through this mess and do a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4. So front and back loops. Then we're going to yarn over and pull through all of the loops. Okay, and then for round 3, oh wait, let's mark this off, even though this is a real pain right now. Comment below if you are struggling with the carrot. It is a tiny, tiny piece. Okay. So for our 3rd row, we have to do a single crochet stitch and an increasing stitch 2 times. So we have 6 stitches in total. And then we have to slip stitch and fasten off with a long tail. Okay, we already have a long tail here. Alright, let's yarn over and pull up a chain to get the height. Then into the next stitch, we are going to do the single crochet stitch. So front and back loops. I'm gonna yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Then we're going to into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and then again in the same stitch to do the increasing stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. One more time into the next stitch, front and back loops, single crochet stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. And then I want to remove this marker here. So now into the last stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and then one more time in the same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So now we count back 6 and we're going to do a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 front and back loops, and then I'm going to yarn over, pull up a loop, and then pull up the last loop. So we have our carrot nose. We're gonna cut off a long tail. I'm going to fasten off by yarning over, pulling it all the way through, tightening it up, and then we're good to go. I'm going to tuck this in here. This is the end of that magical loop. You can always go back in and force that in there. So now we have the carrot nose onto the assembly. Okay. So now we have to pull out our sewing needle. This is the sewing needle. It's very huge. I'm going to put this through the eye of the needle, like that. Okay, now it says sew the carrot nose to the rounds 6 through 9 in the middle between the eyes. Again, I didn't put the eyes in because I'm going to sew it on with some softer yarn. I could use the black yarn that they gave me, but this is too thick. I think my yarn is too thick, but at least I think I'll be able to, or maybe I'll just use their black and see how it goes. Okay, so we have to count rounds 6 through 9. So from the top, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so if this is 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright, so we're going to use from here to here, which I think is a little much because it's just this plop of a nose. But we're going to start, let's start a little below the 6th, right there. So what you're going to do is just sew it on by however means to get it in there. And it's pretty tight, so I'm going to see what it looks like with 2. So I went through the top of 5, or 7, sorry, and then the bottom of 8. And I'm just going to string this through. And I'm going to come up through in and out. Okay. So I have it that way. And then what I'm going to do is I want to secure it on the side. So from this stitch, front and back loops, and I'm going to stick it into this, I guess it's the bottom of the 7th, and then we're going to come in on the other side here. Actually, it's supposed to come through here. Okay. Then through front and back loops this way. Through that one. So then I'm going to want to do this. So front and back loops, and then we're going to put this here. There really isn't a formula for this. You just put it where you think you should have it, to where it looks nice and symmetrical and even on the face. And then we're going to do a front and back loops on this one too. So now I got this. I think I'm happy with how this is attached. Now the trick is to hide the stitch, the rest of this. So I think I'm going to go up and down through here, through this row. And then I'm going to kind of go around this a couple of times to make a knot. I'm going to let this out. I want to pull it to where it's going to tighten on itself. So you kind of have to help it along. So now what I'm going to do, this is my little trick. I have my hook. going to stick it through the hole here. I'm going to find my way through this big hole here, like that. And then I'm going to grab this and I'm going to fish it into the head to where that disappears. Didn't quite disappear, so I'll go back in and grab the rest of it and drag it in there. So that should be in there. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna sew the hat on the head. The hat is located slightly to the side of the center of the face. You can add some stuffing under the hat. So we're gonna grab our stuffing. And I'm going to put it into this hat here. Okay. So they're saying that this can be put off to the side like that. I think I'm just going to do it like that. But you know what, before I do that, I wanna put the eyes in. So let's do this. I'm gonna grab my black yarn and I'm just gonna need a little piece. I'm gonna grab my needle here. So I'm just going to want to find a home for these eyes. And there's just no pattern for it. I'm just gonna hope for the best. Okay, I'm going to try to go to the other side of the head so that I don't have to redo, like, you know what I mean? Lost my train of thought there. Let's just do one. And again, I'm gonna stick my needle in here, try to work it through to get to here. And I'm gonna try to fish this inside the snowman's head. Let's do this too. So now we have our two eyes. Maybe it's winking, right? Oh, well, what can you do? Oh, we can cover it. That's what we can do. Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna slip this through the eye. And there, again, there's no real way to make this to like a technique or anything. You just do it to where you can hide it. So I'm gonna do what they did. They seem to be going up and down through the brim. So I'm just going to finish this off here. Almost at 2 hours, you guys. Hopefully my editing doesn't freeze up. Again, I'm gonna take this guy. I'm gonna fish it through the head. Wow, you guys. And I'm going to just push down this hat a little bit, try to make it into a top hat. And then we're going to put this away because we're done with that. To hide this, like I said, I'm just going to take it and fish it through these stitches in the back. You can always cut it off, but you'll still have that little piece. So I just prefer to just find places in the wrong side of the project and feed it in there so that it's tucked and out of the way. Okay, so you guys, you have this last piece. You can sew this to tighten this up, but I'm actually going to leave it open. I'm going to wait till I finish all 5 characters, and if I have any leftover stuffing, I want to put more stuffing there. There's just not enough. The face just caves in. It's said to just fill the bottom, but I don't think that's enough. So, but this is it, you guys. This is my snowman. I think it's super cute. I think we did an excellent job. Again, it may not turn out to be the perfect snowman if it's your first time around, or maybe it did, and kudos to you. But if it doesn't look right the first time, you know, you can always try making it again and again and again, and you'll end up getting a really cute snowman. Practice makes perfect. But yep, this is my snowman here. It's so cute. Well, thank you so much, you guys, for joining me. This is IsmsbyJBM. Please share, like, and subscribe for future videos, and join me again. We're going to be doing another character. I'll see which one it is going to be next. Till then, check out the link for this kit in the description box below. I did get it from Amazon, so you can go ahead and get this kit so that you can work with me the future characters once it gets in. I'm not too sure when I'm going to post the next ones. It might be a couple of days, but I'm definitely going to try to get it out before the holiday. So I'll see you again next time. Thanks. Bye.